We're here for a very serious purpose. I'm announcing a historic action to rescue our nation's capital from crime, bloodshed, bedlam, and squalor. This is Liberation Day in D.C., and we're going to take our capital back. We're taking it back. I'm officially invoking Section 740 of the District of Columbia Home Rule Act and placing the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department under direct federal control. In addition, I'm deploying the National Guard to help reestablish law, order, and public safety. And you people are victims of it, too. You don't want to get mugged and raped and shot and killed. So you can be anything you want, but you want to have safety in the streets. You want to be able to leave your apartment and go into a store to buy a newspaper. The murder rate in Washington today is higher than that of Bogota, Colombia. Our capital city has been overtaken by violent gangs and bloodthirsty criminals, roving mobs of wild youth, drugged out maniacs and homeless people, and we're not going to let it happen anymore. We're not going to take it. And these are different cities throughout the world. Red is, okay, look at these. Baghdad we doubled up on Baghdad. Panama City, Brasilia, all double and triple what they are. So do you want to live in places like that? Juvenile offenders and crimes against persons, as they say. It's getting worse. And under Biden, it was a disaster. And nobody did anything about it. We're going to do things about it like you wouldn't believe. We have other cities also that are bad, very bad. You look at Chicago, how bad it is. You look at Los Angeles, how bad it is. We have other cities that are very bad. New York has a problem. And then you have, of course, Baltimore and Oakland. We don't even mention that anymore. They're so far gone. And this will go further. We're starting very strongly with D.C., and we're going to clean it up real quick, very quickly, as they say. And we're getting rid of the slums, too. We have slums here. We're getting rid of them. I know it's not politically correct. You'll say, oh, so terrible. No, we're getting rid of the slums where they live. All times of the day, they're in ATVs, motorbikes. They travel pretty well. See, they fight back until you knock the hell out of them because it's the only language they understand. But they fought back against law enforcement last night. They love to spit in the face of the police as the police are standing up there in uniform. They're standing and they're screaming at them an inch away from their face, and then they start spitting in their face. And I said, you tell them, you spit and we hit, and they can hit real hard. And they're told, don't do anything under any such, so this, and you can see they want to get at it. And they're not allowed to do anything, but now they are allowed to do whatever the hell they want. The radical left city council adopted no cash bail. We're going to end that. We have the majority, so we'll vote. Probably won't get one Democrat vote. That's why they want men playing in women's sports. That's why they want transgender for everybody transgender.
Oh, yeah. It's all coming together.
Nobody's ever come up to me, sir, you have to let men play in women's sports. You have to do it, sir. Nobody's ever approached me. I don't know where this issue even comes from. But they turned our nation's capital into a sanctuary jurisdiction. That's the other thing. We have to get rid of sanctuary cities as quickly as possible. We're going to do it, too. We have to. I was told today, sir, they want more police. I heard a number, 3,500 police. That's a lot of police. I thought they were going to say, we only have 30 policemen or women. They said, we have 3,500. We need more. You don't need more. That's so many. I never heard. That's like an army. 3,500. This is not a big area. It's ridiculous. I actually think it's easy. You know, if you're competent, it's easy. If you're incompetent, it's impossible. But I'm very competent. Last week, my administration surged 500 federal agents into the district. DEA, ATF, FBI, Park Police, U.S. Marshal Service, Secret Service, Department of Homeland Security. They made dozens of arrests, and that's what starts to happen. Today, we're formally declaring a public safety emergency. This is an emergency. And it's embarrassing for me to be up here. You know, I'm going to see Putin. I'm going to Russia. I don't like being up here talking about how unsafe and how dirty and disgusting this once beautiful capital was. But people come from Iowa, they come from Indiana, they come and then they get mugged. Keep coming, because by the time you get your trip set, it's going to be safe again. No, we don't have to rip the road out and spend 7 years building a new road because some designer said, well, we need a quarter of an inch more turn for safety reasons. No. So today we're declaring public safety emergency. Pam Bondi, who's fantastic, is taking command of the Metropolitan Police Department as of this moment. To the mayor, our new DEA administrator, who's one of the top in the country. He better be Terry, if you're not, I'm going to get rid of you so fast. And you'll be designated as the interim federal commissioner of the Metropolitan Police Department. Okay? You have a lot of good people. You have people that shouldn't be there. You also have people that shouldn't be there. They got in there because of woke. This city will no longer be a sanctuary for illegal alien criminals, and will deploy officers across the district with an overwhelming presence. You'll have more police, and you'll be so happy. Because you'll be safe. You're going to see police, or you're going to see FBI agents. We're going to have a lot of agents on the streets. You're going to have a lot of essentially military, and we will bring in the military if it's needed. We will bring in the military if needed. People say, oh, that's so terrible. He's going to bring in this. And this is just a list of some of the people that were given to me today that were criminals removed from the D.C. streets this weekend. Look at these people here. Nothing, you know. Look at this guy. He has killed people numerous times. I know we all want to say, oh, they're going to be rehabbed. It's not going to be rehabbed. Doug, could you say a few words, please?
The circles and the triangle parks that are spread throughout DC are actually federal park property. These became littered with homeless camps under the Biden administration. All of you saw that. Since President Trump's executive order on March 27th, the U.S. Park Police have removed over 70 homeless camps. President Trump, they thank you. The rank and file is so happy to be enforcing the law again.
Thank you. Very good. Great job you're doing. Thank you very much. Pete, could you say something about the military, if you would?
At your direction this morning, we've mobilized the DC National Guard. You will see them flowing into the streets of Washington in the coming week. At your direction as well, sir, there are other units we are prepared to bring in, and we're working with ICE and CBP.
I'm going to ask Pam, because she's now, as you heard me say, she's really in charge of a lot of what we're talking about.
Let me be crystal clear. Crime in D.C. is ending and ending today. Not only that, our secret weapon here in D.C. is U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro. No more teenage girls beating a disabled man to death. No more of that. Do not underestimate one person in this room. One other thing, just at the wharf a few days ago, a guy's overdosing from fentanyl on a park bench in the middle of families around. They administered Narcan and saved his life. No more of that.
Mr. President, the following is what happens when you let good cops be cops. What we did in Northern Virginia, we said, let's let good cops be cops and let's get the red tape out of their way, and that's exactly what we did. We have also arrested 1,600 people who have committed violent acts against children. 270 of them are human traffickers of children. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Attorney General.
Thank you very much. So the process begins right now. It's going to be something that will be pretty amazing to you as you watch it. We're going to be removing homeless encampments. Some of those people, we don't know how they even got there. Some of those people are from different countries, different parts of the world. Nobody knows who they are. They have no idea, but they're there. Some of the buildings, we're going to add to it. You see what we've done at the White House. White House is a whole different building. I do that in my part-time because it's a natural instinct as a real estate person. But we're going to be adding a magnificent ballroom, most beautiful ballroom, I think, anywhere. And I'd like to introduce, to speak for just a few seconds. Jeanine, would you say a few words, please?
What I can tell you is this. I see too much violent crime being committed by young punks who think that they can get together and beat the hell out of you or anyone else. But they know that we can't touch them. Why? I can't touch you if you're 14, 15, 16, 17 years old. I convict someone of shooting another person on a public bus in the chest. And you know what the judge gives him? Probation. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Jeanine.
A short while ago in the Oval Office, President Trump signed two crucial executive actions. The first of these to take federal control of the D.C. Metropolitan Police Department. The second major executive action that President Trump signed was a presidential memorandum directing the Secretary of Defense to utilize the National Guard to address the conditions we see on our streets here in D.C. It also authorized the Secretary of Defense to work with state governors to utilize their National Guard units if necessary as well.
So I think everybody agrees with what we're doing today. This was a sick, woke culture that I think we've largely ended, but we're going to make it beautiful again. We're going to fix it with crime. Really tough. Could I shake your hand, Getty, please? You're going to be so important here. You're going to be that guy. I hope I don't have to fire him in 2 weeks because he's too soft. I don't think he's too soft. If I do, I will, though. Is it okay? If you're soft, weak, and pathetic, like so many people, I will fire you so fast. They're all wanting to come. And I say it, I've said it again, but I'm really just quoting other leaders from the Middle East, King of Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and they all said the same thing. They said our country was dead, and now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. We do. We have the hottest country in the world right now. We solved 5 wars with Pakistan and India. We just solved one. Azerbaijan, and as you know, in Armenia. It was a very tough situation, but we got it done. And I said to the two men, I said, are you guys friends? And they had a hard time. They've been killing each other for 37 years, right? And you got it solved. But we did many of those. We did in the Congo and Rwanda. You have countries where every Saturday the people go out and they wash their sidewalks in front of their stores or their houses. They scrub their sidewalks. When you walk into a restaurant and you see a dirty front door, don't go in. Because if the front door is dirty, the kitchen's dirty also. Same thing with the Capitol.
There is reporting that the administration is going to reclassify marijuana.
But we're looking at reclassification. Some people like it, some people hate it. Some people hate the whole concept of marijuana because if it does bad for the children, it does bad for people that are older than children. Very complicated subject, the subject of marijuana.
Do you expect more cities to follow DC's path if this goes through? So the idea is that Chicago, LA, San Francisco, would they expect similar action what we've seen in DC?
Other cities are hopefully watching this, and maybe they'll clean up, and maybe they'll do this and get rid of the cashless bail thing and all of the things that caused the problem. And if we need to, we're going to do the same thing in Chicago, which is a disaster. We have a mayor there who's totally incompetent. We have an incompetent governor there. Pritzker's an incompetent. And now I understand he wants to be president. But I noticed he lost a little weight, so maybe he has a chance. You never know what happens. If we didn't go to L.A. 3 months ago, L.A. would be burning like the part that didn't burn. But hopefully L.A.'s watching. I was walking down the street, and I met with firemen and police. I love low-income housing. I made money with low-income housing. And Gavin Newsom is incompetent. He's got a good line of bullshit, but that's about it. He's incompetent.
China tariff deadline is tonight. Do you plan to extend that?
We'll see what happens.
You mentioned your upcoming meeting with President Putin. Can
Yeah.
you tell us what you hope to get out of that and whether you consider inviting President Zelensky to join?
But I got along well with Putin. It's always good to get along with other countries if possible. It's a violent war. Missiles do damage and they kill a lot of people. I'm going in to speak to Vladimir Putin. And I'm going to be telling him, you got to end this war. You got to end it. This could end up in a third world war. But I think we'll have constructive conversations. There'll be some land swapping going on for the good of Ukraine. Good stuff, not bad stuff. Also, some bad stuff. But it's very complex because you have lines that are very uneven. It takes two to tango, right?
Volodymyr Zelensky is not invited on Friday?
He wasn't a part of it. And at the end of that meeting, probably in the first 2 minutes, I'll know exactly whether or not a deal can be
How would
made.
you know that?
Because that's what I do. I make deals.
On China, your administration agreed to send NVIDIA and AMD chips.
It's possible I'd make a deal. So I said, listen, I want 20% if I'm going to approve this for you, for the country, for our country, for the U.S. I don't want it myself. Every time I say like 747, I want, yeah, for the Air Force. So I just wanted, so when I say I want 20, I want for the country. I only care about the country. I don't care about myself. Do you have any other questions?
This is the most people we've ever seen in this briefing.
I've never seen
ever, right?
I've never seen any. Where's Caroline? Where's my superstar? Is this the largest crowd that you've ever seen?
This is definitely the most packed briefing, and I think all of you would agree. I think it's why we need to build a ballroom.
You're building the big, beautiful ballroom.
Yeah.
Could we build a big, beautiful briefing room? Updated technology, more seats.
I don't want to do that. I don't want you to be comfortable. No, I don't want to make life comfortable. I'm going to get everybody's ideas. I go into that thing fully loaded right up there. What happens, happens. I'll let you know what happened. Thank you all. Thank you all very much.
Madam Attorney General, did the Justice Department appeal the Epstein decision today, Mr. President?
How long will the takeover of DC police last?
We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have another briefing.
Neighborhoods will see the National Guard on their streets.
All of them.